One phone call. That is all it took. Somewhere between Wednesday afternoon and Sunday night, the most powerful man in America picked up the phone, called the head of world football, and a red card that had ended a strikers tournament simply stopped existing. Balogun was suspended. The rule was clear. He was out. But then the President of the United States made a call FIFA had never taken before, and the ban vanished. This is the story of how one man reached into the World Cup and changed who was allowed to play. It was the 64th minute in Santa Clara. The United States were beating Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0 in the round of 32. Balogun had already scored. It was his third goal of this World Cup, and he was the reason America looked ready to march deep into the knockout rounds. Then he went in for a ball with a defender named Tarek Muharemovic. His boot came down on the back of the defender's ankle. At first, the referee waved play on. Nothing given. But up in the video room, the replay officials saw something they did not like, and they sent the referee, Rafael Claus, over to the screen at the side of the pitch. He watched it back in slow motion, and he pulled out a red card. Balogun was gone. Down to 10 men, the Americans held on and won, but the damage was already done, because a straight red card in football does not just end your game. It ends your next one too. Here is the part that matters. Under FIFA's own rules, a straight red card brings an automatic one-match ban, and a team cannot appeal it. There is no form to fill out, no hearing to ask for. It is written into the code. A rules expert working the tournament said it plainly. There was no legal way for the Americans to fight a one-game ban. Balogun's own coach knew it. Balogun knew it. He told reporters that Friday that the ban was something he just had to accept. So the story was simple. America's top scorer, the man with 3 goals in 4 games, would sit out the biggest match of his life, the round of 16, against Belgium. In Seattle, a quarterfinal place on the line, and a chance at the kind of run the United States had not managed in more than 20 years. This was not a small loss to take. Balogun was the first player to both score a goal and get sent off in a World Cup knockout match since Zinedine Zidane in the 2006 final. He was the center of the whole attack. And the United States had not reached a World Cup quarterfinal since 2002. They were the last host nation still standing in the tournament. His coach, Mauricio Pochettino, and his staff had already started planning how to replace him, moving other forwards up the order. Losing Balogun for Belgium was not a dent. It was the difference between a real run and going home. That was Friday. By Sunday, none of it was true anymore. And the timing of what happened next was almost too perfect. Go back to Wednesday. The same day Balogun saw red, the phone rang in the office of Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA. On the other end was Donald Trump. Several sources, speaking to news agencies who asked not to be named, say the President of the United States personally asked Infantino to review the red card. 2 people close to the call confirmed it. The White House was not sending a letter or filing a complaint through the normal channels. The president was calling the most powerful man in world football directly and asking him to look again. And Trump was not alone. Behind the scenes, the machine went to work. The Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, and Andrew Giuliani, who runs the White House task force for the World Cup, helped bring in lawyers and talked with American soccer officials as they built their case. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said out loud that the card should be scrapped. The American government even handed over extra evidence to be used in the appeal. That is the full weight of the United States government, aimed at a single decision on a football pitch. And this was not 2 strangers. Trump and Infantino are close. Back in December, FIFA gave Trump its first ever Peace Prize at the World Cup draw. He is expected to hand the trophy to the winning captain at the final in New Jersey on the 19th of July, just as he did at the club competition last year. So, when the president called, he was not cold calling a stranger. He was calling a friend. And that was only round 1. On Sunday, FIFA blinked. In a short statement, World Football's governing body said that Balogun's one-match ban would be suspended. Not overturned exactly. Suspended for a probation period of 1 year. He would only serve it if he made another foul like it within the next 12 months. And in the meantime, he was free to play against Belgium. FIFA pointed to Article 27 of its rulebook, a rule that lets its panel hold back a punishment and put a player on probation instead. That was the legal door they walked through. But here is what they did not do. They did not explain why. No reason given, no detail. Just a ban that could not be appealed, quietly set aside 2 days before the biggest game of the tournament. The loudest voice against it came from Belgium, the very team Balogun was now cleared to face. Their coach, Rudy Garcia, stood in front of reporters and did not hold back. He said he did not know that in the FIFA offices, the 5th of July was actually the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. He was not smiling when he said it. Belgium said they were stunned. The Belgian Football Federation went further and challenged whether Balogun should be allowed to play at all. They accused FIFA of hiding how the decision was made. Their message was blunt. They were not defending national pride. They were defending football itself, its honesty and its fairness. Europe's football governing body weighed in, and it did not choose soft words. It said FIFA had crossed a red line. When the rules are no longer kept safe by the people meant to protect them, it warned, the fairness of the game is at risk, and no one can trust the whole tournament anymore. Read that again. Not a rival team, not an angry fan, the body that runs European football, telling the world that FIFA had broken something. If you want the real story behind this World Cup, the parts that happen off the pitch and away from the cameras, then subscribe and stick with me. I break down every twist of this tournament as it lands. No press releases, no spin. Now, back to it. And somehow, it got worse. Because Infantino did not deny the call, he confirmed it. In his own statement, the FIFA president said yes, he speaks with the President of the United States about the World Cup, and yes, he took the call. But he said he told Trump that FIFA's own legal panels make their own decisions, that there was a legal case already going on, and that it would be decided by the right panel in its own time. He said he respects those decisions, whether he likes them or not. So, the head of FIFA was in the strange spot of admitting the phone call while saying the phone call changed nothing, that the timing was just chance, that a punishment with no way to appeal just happened to be suspended days after the president of the host nation asked for exactly that. And then Trump removed any doubt about the call himself. Standing in the Oval Office on Monday, he confirmed he had picked up the phone. He called the red card horrible. He said he asked for a review because he did not think it was even a foul. And then, in a line that says everything, he admitted he did not know what a red card was. His words. He said he did not know what the hell a red card was. He also went after the referee, saying the official looked a little suspicious if you looked at his past. And on his own social platform, he took a victory lap, thanking FIFA for doing what was right and reversing what he called a great injustice. Now, FIFA and Trump both want you to believe the call and the decision are not connected. Maybe. But the president will look back on this week knowing he asked and days later he got exactly what he wanted. And to understand how rare this is, you have to know the history. Before this week, only one time in the whole story of the World Cup had a player been sent off and still allowed to play the very next game. That was 1962. A Brazilian named Garrincha, red-carded in the semifinal, cleared to play the final. Brazil won the whole thing. That was the last team ever to win 2 World Cups in a row. So, the last time a red card was waved away like this, your grandparents may not have been born yet. Until Balogun. Until a phone call from Washington. There was also Cristiano Ronaldo last year, who earned a 3-game ban in qualifying and had 2 of those games suspended, which let him play in Portugal's opener. That drew anger at the time too. But a national team getting a favor after a call from its own president 2 days before a home knockout match is something new. This decision seemed small at the time. It was not. Because a door is open now that FIFA cannot easily close. If the president of one country can call and get a ban suspended, what happens the next time another world leader wants the same favor? Every hard call for the rest of this tournament will now be watched with that in mind. And it did not take long to find the next test. On the same weekend, an England defender named Jarell Quansah was sent off after a video review, and under the same rules, he is now facing his own one-match ban. So the question hangs in the air. Will FIFA suspend his ban too? And if not, why not? What made Balogun different, other than the phone that rang in Infantino's office? So here is where we are. America's best striker walks out for the biggest match of his life, cleared to play by a decision no one will fully explain after a call no one denies was made. Maybe it was justice. Maybe that red card really was harsh, and a good player got a fair second chance. A lot of people in football think the punishment was too heavy, but that is not the only question that will follow this World Cup. The bigger question is who reached in to fix it, and whether the rules of the biggest tournament on earth still belong to the people who play it, or to the people who can pick up a phone and call the top. One card, one call, and a rule that had held for more than 60 years, gone in 4 days. Tell me what you think down in the comments, and if you want the next chapter the moment it breaks, follow the channel, because this tournament is a long way from over.